Hey everybody, it's me. So I'm going to do some more of these videos, sharing an opinion, giving information. I think after 30 years being a dog trainer, being in tens of thousands of people's houses, out in public, every imaginable, at least applied training and behavior and puppy development scenario that I think a trainer could encounter. I could go through every unique lifestyle, situation, level of dogs, and really you learn a constant, okay? There's a process to this. You have to follow the process. You cannot start deviating or letting your emotions or your personal opinions get in the way of an expert taking you through a process. Now, why am I going to become a little bit more stern and demanding? Number one, I don't have as much time as I used to. I have other projects I'm working on, both in and out of the dog world. And I also am getting older. I want this to be successful for each and every one of the clients that hires me, okay? So once I see someone not following the program based on what their dog is requiring for the original reason they hired me as a trainer, and I'm pretty good at creating a good training plan based on the intake I do when I have an initial 90-minute, very thorough, intensive workshop with a client. I start with that before anything else, both for the client to see if they want to work with me and vice versa, and to see what the potential is going to be for their dog's trainability so that we can be successful. And I lay out very clear as crystal what to expect, what to do if things do and don't go as planned, so that they have me guiding them every step of the way, again, based on my experience. Okay, so what I've learned is if people want to start deviating or bargaining with nature, say, oh, can I let them on the furniture? We're already going down the wrong path. And I always also qualify, this is not about appeasing me as the trainer, keeping me happy, not making me yell at you. That my ego has been so out of this for so many fucking years. I've been beaten up and down in this industry. So much grind I've been through, both when I wasn't and was semi-successful at this. So it is all about my intention to try to help these people. Okay, I know what it's like to go through this. This is people's, sometimes their closest family member. This is a very serious thing. And to the dog as an animal, this could be to them life or death in their mind. We know it's not. These are always misinterpretations. These dogs, even if they went through something in the past and they're now rescued, no one's gonna die. The other dog encountering them on a walk is not going to be their demise, but because they've learned bad habits and sometimes a lack of control on the part of the owner, they've developed that. If we're working with a puppy, I want to make sure they never get to that place where they're just now having to suffer and their dog's going through all these problem behaviors, and now we're going through a rehab program instead of a puppy development program where we can just teach the dog from scratch the right skills. And depending on that puppy, the personality, the breed, all these factors, we have to create the proper training plan. It's a pie chart, right? It is. I remember Caesar's, where I read that book probably 15 years ago now, and I remember the one thing I did take from that I really appreciated was that he had a pie chart, and you just kind of you gotta have a plan. You have to set up every day. It's a dog. I have an 11-year-old Rottweiler here in front of me, and we have a plan even for him, even though he requires so much less. It's still an exercise, a feeding, a health plan, a mental stimulation plan. And this is not something you're just getting for your own enjoyment. This is an animal, and usually if you're hiring a trainer, your animal is bright and your dog is hypervigilant, maybe a working breed. They probably even need more of a plan and more of a consistent plan and all the rules followed. Okay, so why am I talking about all this? Why am I kind of ranting a little bit about this? And this has happened enough times where I know, and this is where people have seen me post about it. I talk about the vet intervention and them and their medications and the behaviorists and all this stuff that is just tinkering with the works of what a dog's nature is. They have to learn to self-soothe, to trust your leadership, to be conditioned to make calm choices, and to listen to your command and be social in real life situations, and then apply whatever training skills you developed into the home to, again, carry that over into real world scenarios so that they have the real skills and the ability to be balanced. What's balance? A dog that doesn't over or underreact to life and social situations and isn't overly hypervigilant and reactive in the presence of an owner because they know the owner has things covered unless otherwise signaling that to the dog, okay? So, this is happening tonight. So again, this is like within the past 60 minutes. I get a text from a client who's working with a puppy. It's just a bright, it's a husky puppy. The dog probably isn't getting, maybe it needs more exercise. The structure element I know is going there. But the reality is the puppy is just for now the past week learning to spend more time in other spaces, especially at night from the owner. So it's 1 week, the dog's getting stressed. Sometimes the dogs will get digestive visits, psychosomatic, and a lot of times the owners overly worry and they put that energy in the environment, and that just, even if they're doing all the training, that just throws it just tinkers with everything that you're trying to achieve if you're just going through the pragmatics. There's a vibe, there's an energy, there's all that stuff that is real, but there's also conditioning, training, correction, reward, and so on. So they went to the vet because they were concerned. And of course, you have a digestive issue in the dog, you might, but again, have you tried probiotics? Have you really looked into maybe adjusting the diet? Have you gotten the dog used to just being able to be in separate rooms from you for more than a week's time? Again, maybe it's certain elements, but not at nighttime, and that's the issue. And that could take, and we have to make sure even before you put the dog to bed, you're doing enough exercise, and all these things. Even we upgraded from a Star Mark to a Herm Sprenger collar because it is a very strong-willed puppy. But again, it's just a process. It's a very young puppy. So I even recommended try CBD if you really want to just try to curb, just get something, because I think it was also disturbing their ability to sleep, which again, I understand. I'm on the side of the owner, but it's a puppy. It's a process. It'll get there. It's not the most challenging puppy I've seen, that's for sure. So when they go to the vet and explain that, the vet, and this is where you vets really got to back off. You have never been in the home seeing what an applied behavior situation looks like. You have no idea where the root cause of all these issues come from. The hypervigilant, how to implement structure, how conditioning works. You don't. You know how to fix boo-boos and give drugs. Okay? And again, if my dog needs a boo-boo fixed or drugs given or an x-ray, I'll go to you. But please, stay in your lane. Because this veterinarian had the audacity to prescribe a sedative to help this young puppy who's, I think, 4 to 6 months. I'd have to check, so I don't want to say definitive. It's small. It's a young puppy. Sedatives to help it sleep. I don't know if you're a trainer, if you're a rational thinking person, even when I have a severe separation anxiety case, and we're going 6 months to work through some of these issues, just day by day, a little bit of improvement because it's so deep rooted. We still don't entertain sedatives. So rarely, in severe aggression cases, I might recommend fluoxetine just because we've done everything and they want to keep their dog and just see if there's any, and we just throw the kitchen sink at it. But in most cases, we're weaning these dogs off of medication to get the dog more sound-minded and get them to just learn, because most of them have never had structure, the ability to self-soothe, the ability to learn to not always be clinging to their owner's every move, and just have enough exercise, the right nutrition, all of these things factored in. Again, a plan. Okay, so that's what this stems from, but I really have to just start putting this stuff out there more. I've experienced too much as a dog trainer to be sitting on the sidelines still. I still have some energy in me. I'm still doing this regularly enough where I've got enough, whether it be information to share as far as the technicalities, right? I want to talk about why I don't believe stay and wait is necessary, and it's not a belief. I can demonstrate it in enough videos. Go look at everything I posted on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram over the past, 8-9 years since I first tried to do all this stuff more, out in social media, and I backed off the past couple of years because it just doesn't, it just doesn't do it for me. But maybe if this, I did, what's also motivated this, I've been watching some other people on social media, not even dog related, the man, John Michael Knight, I think his name is, look, 30 years experience, I think I know what I'm doing. If you're not going to follow the plan, I'm not going to work with you. I'm kind of upset at this client for not trusting my experience and having him just be patient enough to just go through the process. How many times have I said that already, right? So, but I think I have to just be more demanding. As soon as a client gets off track and we try to get him back on track, and with numerous attempts, they're just not willing to, or they want to have more of a personal opinion to, instead of trusting the experts being in this position enough times with enough similar looking situations to help you go through this. Even when plan A doesn't work, we've got plans B, C, and D in place ready, but it's training, not avoiding the issue, medicating, and that is last resort. And with a puppy, I just don't see any rationale for that ever. It's a young puppy. That's all it is. Probably just needs more exercise. It's a husky breed. It's probably not covering enough steps in a day, whatever the case may be. But anyway, yes, I think I should be speaking out more. I think that the biggest voice right now, I hate to say it doesn't articulate the English language so great. I'm sorry. So let other experts, who have been, again, great advice from many of my peers. I've shared, you see who I share, and there's plenty others that I respect and think they do. And even if they don't agree with what I do and I don't agree with everything they do, I know they have the experience, and you should listen to what they say if they're your trainer or you're taking advice from them. But please, if you're a veterinarian, back off. Seriously, back off. Unless you've done applied training and you happen to have a DMV with your name also, then we'll listen, because you're probably not going to be prescribed medications because you know the reality of what dogs are. Okay, this is also something, I'm sure if someone did a study of this, that more of these medication prescribers are in more of these woke kind of cities. I don't want to go off topic of dog, but it's a mind frame of just that is really, really ruining. This intervention by doctors, even in the human realm, has gone a little too far. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you take from this what you may. The other thing that I did hear from some other gentlemen's podcasts is, people might not like this. They might turn this off after 10 seconds, fine. But if one person, one trainer, one dog owner, right? It's the example. So the example he gave is, and that'll be it. I'll rant over. He said, okay, you're walking on a beach and there's all these starfish that are washed up, and you're gonna, you're not gonna get them all back in the water. They're gonna die. But even if one or two, I got back in there, I made my difference, and it was worth the effort, even if I couldn't get them all in. And that's what I'm thinking more. Instead of trying to change everyone's opinion, if you want to hear this and you want to apply this, this works. Whatever information, if you're a client, if you're somebody listening and learning from this, or you're interested, I am working on a video course. I also am working with another company creating content for them as well. And this is just stuff that I am breaking down and explaining, whether it be techniques, conditioning, how to teach things, how to address problem behaviors, or just the psychology of humans, dogs, and dumb veterinarians. I'm going to put it out there more. So anyway, hope this has some credence with someone.